All right, man. A couple of y'all have been asking for this video, so here it is, man. And to be honest with you, I saw this a couple of days ago. Colin Cowherd basically came out and admitted to everybody that LeBron James knew the entire time that Luka Doncic was getting traded to the Lakers for Anthony Davis. Not only did he knew, he basically orchestrated the whole thing and went behind Anthony Davis's back. Now, I want y'all to tell me in the comment section if y'all think this is true or is this just some conspiracy theorist guy, making stuff up. Keep in mind, while you answer that question, Colin Cowherd is a Clutch Sports client. He has very close ties with Maverick Carter. He talks about this shit all the time. You're talking about somebody on LeBron James's payroll who's coming out of the blue and saying, yep, Bron knew. He's a savant. He's so smart. He knew it was time to move off Anthony Davis. He came up with this plan probably years ago. Years ago, he came up with this plan and he set this up. And keep in mind, LeBron has been known to make plans a year or two in advance. And in my opinion, I just never agreed and always thought something was wrong when they had the nerve to say, oh, LeBron James, there was just no way he knew Anthony Davis could have gotten traded. You know why? Because he was at dinner with his family. Yeah, so the fact that he was eating dinner with the fam, there's just no way he could have knew. Remember, about 50 people came out the moment the trade happened and reported. LeBron had nothing to do with it. Now, all of a sudden, it's working. The trade is working. The Lakers are winning. LeBron decides now's the time to lock in, get engaged with the team, even though he hasn't done that for years. And now they're winning games. So now it's the perfect time for his pawns to come out in the media and say, yeah, guys, he knew the whole time. Look how genius this move was. Look how good the Lakers look. Now, had the Lakers been on a 10-game losing streak, do you think Colin Cowherd would be coming out right now and announcing LeBron James's, plan and the fact that he orchestrated all of this? Do you think he would do that if the Lakers had lost 10 games in a row? Now that they're on the 7-game winning streak, now he wants to come out and say they knew all the time. They beat a good team. Now all of a sudden they knew. You guys let me know in the comment section right now. I'm going to go ahead and get started with this video. This is Dreamer's Pro video, and the only reason why I use his is just for copyright purposes. Because you know how Fox Sports be sometimes. So like, comment, subscribe. Let's get up into it.
And AD's played a couple of really good years, and he stayed mostly healthy. And you know what that means? It was time to sell the stock. You got your title. He was finally consistently healthy. He was older, and LeBron's like, I'm still a top 5 guy in the league. And I think privately LeBron had said, he's a good fit. He's not the perfect fit. And I watched the Dallas Mavericks become a mess over the last 3 weeks. And, some of it's just bad luck. But in my life of watching professional athletes, I'll say it again, he's a good investor. He's like Warren Buffett. He may be a little early, but he's never late. He always knows when it's time to move off. And it was funny, when Luka came here, and again, AD was really good for him. But he was 32 years old, and every Laker fan would watch AD and be absolutely honest. Weren't you always holding your breath?
No. I wasn't always holding my breath. I was always sitting there wondering why the Lakers didn't have an actual center to put next to Anthony Davis so that this team could thrive and be built around Anthony Davis. I was always wondering how come Anthony Davis never gets the ball, especially in the third or fourth quarter. So he basically ends the game with like 19, 20 points when he could have had like 30, 35, 40 points. Why was the ball always in LeBron James's hand and not Anthony Davis's? I was always wondering why Anthony Davis is so beholden to LeBron James when this guy clearly finds ways to make you look bad so that his stats can be as popping as they were. I was wondering why, when you look at the player usage per game, LeBron was like top 2 with having the ball over 6 minutes per game, when Anthony Davis, for the top 10 players in the league, was the worst of them all with about 2.5 minutes. His numbers were being botched in order to support LeBron. But he just stood by and took it anyway. And I was wondering, what the hell is this dude getting out of it? Unless LeBron is some type of father figure for him or something? Some type of big brother? I don't know. But I wasn't always wondering, is Anthony Davis going to get hurt? Because to be honest with you, him and LeBron he actually played more games than LeBron, if I remember correctly. LeBron James has actually, over the last 3 seasons, played only 5 more games than Kawhi Leonard in that same time period. Yet the entire media did nothing but ridicule, especially Stephen A. Smith, berate, talk shit about Kawhi Leonard the whole time. When all they did was tell you that LeBron shows up to work every day. LeBron is an everyday man, even though he played 5 more games than Kawhi in that same time period. These guys are clowns, y'all.
Weren't you always holding your breath? Of course you were. Now, and LeBron does this. When he went to Miami the first time, people said, hey, it's not going to work. It's clunky. You don't have a center. It's not always pretty for LeBron when he first goes to a place. It's not always pretty. It's a little clunky. But he made Miami right. Oh, Kyrie's a bust. Nobody can play with him. He brings over Kevin Love. He's a stat padder, not a winner.
Wow. Now tell me in the comment section right now, how many of you guys heard people calling Kyrie Irving a bust the year before LeBron James went there in 2015? So in the 2013-2014 season, how many of y'all was just hearing, yeah, Kyrie, he's a bust guy. He's a bust. Sure, he's only 3 years into the league, but he's a straight bust. We need to get rid of this clown. Or did you guys hear that he was a rising up-and-coming superstar? Could he be top 5? Because that's what I remember hearing. See, people, you guys get on us, right? People who talk, who on or YouTube or podcasts, they say things, and people go, well, where's, where how do we know what you're saying is true? Where's the realness of it? You guys are just crazed kooks with microphones who talk. But if you subtly listen to everybody in the mainstream media, if you take the time out to listen to them, they lie to you guys all the time. Whatever fits their current narrative. Not every narrative, but their current narrative. If the word came out tomorrow that, hey, it's time to call LeBron a bust, it's time to talk shit and berate LeBron, they would find ways. So somebody like Colin Cowherd or Nick Wright, who has spent the last decade praising and salivating this man, would be like, well, LeBron's always aloof. Oh, LeBron's never loyal. Oh, LeBron, he's always trading people left and right. They would make it sound like it's a bad thing. They're saying the same thing to you right now, but they're marketing it as if it's a good thing. It's good that LeBron lied to Anthony Davis and got him traded. Went behind his back. It's good that LeBron James is never loyal to any other team, because what is loyalty really in the league? It's good that the NBA ratings are down, but somehow, some way, it's not LeBron James's fault. It's just the fact that they can't find another superstar. It's not the fact that we overly market LeBron at 40 fucking years old. No, it couldn't be that. It couldn't be that we still talk about Steph Curry and Kevin Durant. No. It's just that these young players just aren't good enough. It's not like right now, they're talking about JJ Redick. He should be coach of the year. You know why? Because he's LeBron's coach. The Lakers have been winning for the last week and a half. 2 weeks, actually. It's been like 8 games. And all of a sudden, JJ Redick should be coach of the year. when you have the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Oklahoma City Thunder, one is on pace to have a 70-12 season. The other one is on pace to have a 69-13 win season, guys. And for clarification purposes, that never happens. The last team to win 70 games was the 2016 Golden State Warriors a decade almost ago. The last team to win 70 games before that was the 96 Bulls. And, of course, they went 73 and the other one was 72. But the last team to go 70 games before them, if I remember correctly, was the 73 Boston Celtics. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. And if I remember correctly, that Boston Celtics team won 68 games, not 70. That's ridiculous. Both of these teams in the same season are on pace to break records in the winning department, and none of their coaches classify as a coach of the year candidate. Mark Dagnott, no for him. What about the Cavs coach? No for him? No, we need to give it to JJ Redick because LeBron plays on this team. That's basically the only reason why. It's not even because the Lakers have had some great season. Are they second in the West? Yes. They're still 11 games behind the number one seed, and it's really just a testament to how shitty the West is. They're probably on pace to win about 50 games, guys. The season's almost over. If the Lakers get lucky, they'll win 48 to 52 games. Meanwhile, the Thunder will win almost 70 games in the same season. But no, LeBron's a genius. He's the greatest ever. And this is for people who just think that we're just some pathological haters. Like we get up every morning. Our job is to hate, so we're hating. You know why they call you a hater? Because it's on the same line as conspiracy theorist guy. When you think of a conspiracy theorist, you think of a nut job, a crazy man. But when was that created? Back in 1964? When they assassinated JFK? The JFK, and I know this had nothing to do with basketball, but on the side note, the JFK assassination created the word conspiracy theorist. Who created that? The government. To this day, who believes that what's the name, assassinated JFK by himself? No one. No one believes it who looks into it. Not a person. It just didn't make sense. I wasn't even born when this happened. It still doesn't make sense to me. That's why they're supposed to release the files that they haven't released. Why do I bring this up? Because that's basically the same thing. You say, no, guys, look, I see LeBron's stats, but they don't transition into winning. He's not really a winning player. And everybody says you're a hater, you're crazy, you're a conspiracy theorist. Everything you say is made up. Well, these guys are lying to you right in your face. The guys who are telling you, no, trust us. No, I work for Fox Sports, trust me. He's telling you right now. Who in their right mind, still, I'm waiting for the comment section. Who came out and who has ever said Kyrie Irving was not a winner before LeBron got there? Who was hating on Kyrie? Because I certainly do not remember.
Took about a year to get it right. He got it right. Then he brings over AD. Had to get rid of the young kids. Little bumpy early. And then he got it right. The Dallas situation now between ticket sales, the lack of trust. I mean, Mark Cuban, ask yourself this. Mark Cuban a year ago said, I'm going to sell the franchise. You don't think LeBron James looked at that and thought, Luka may be available? I really believe this. I absolutely believe this. I believe every time LeBron was around Luka, remember when Luka came into the NBA first year? Go back and look at the tapes. Kid was 20 games in. LeBron's like, that kid's great. LeBron's like a talent scout. LeBron's like, that guy's great. He just makes sure everybody around Luka knew.
You want high-performance, long-lasting, affordable tools. You want Harbor Freight tools.
That LeBron thought you were great. He tried to get Steph Curry a couple years ago. Steph's like, nah, I'm a warrior. Remember, he kept saying nice things about Steph. What'd Steph do? Steph can initiate the offense. LeBron can play off ball. LeBron can get easier baskets. So initially, he wanted Steph. And Steph wasn't available. Steph pushed back. Then he moved to Luka. Slowly, saying nice things, keeping in contact with Mark Cuban. Cuban leaves the Mavericks. You know, Cuban and Luka, they were tight. What does LeBron see when Cuban leaves? An opening. And
doesn't that sound like a pariah or like a leech to you guys? In all seriousness, doesn't that sound like some type of leech? Some type of predator? Some type of pounce on you weirdo? See, when you watch the NBA long enough, this is why you realize LeBron's just not the GOAT, bro. He told himself, Luka's a top 3 player in the league. I'm going to attain Luka Doncic and get him on my team. Bro, when has Jordan ever done that? When has Kobe? Was Magic Johnson recruiting Larry Bird and we just don't know about it? Was he like, I need to get Larry Bird and Julius Erving over here on the Lakers, even though, you know, Kareem's my player? I'm going to see if I could trade him and get Larry Bird, Julius Erving, and Jordan at the same time. Like, come on, bro. It's just a shame that you guys accept this shit. Like, as fanboys in the comment section. You guys accept this. You guys, in your brain, tell yourselves that that's okay. It's wise. It was smart. He's some type of genius. This, that, and the third. Not everything that's wrong with the situation. Not the fact that there's no loyalty. You guys talk all the time. This is you guys. Oh, well, the owners, they're not loyal to the players. They're never loyal, so why should the players be loyal to the owners? Okay, but shouldn't the players at least be loyal to each other if that's the case? So should a player never be loyal to anything ever? He shouldn't even be loyal to his own best friend, a.k.a. Dwayne Wade, who didn't even know he was leaving. He shouldn't be loyal to somebody he called his best friend in Anthony Davis. Smile in their face, right? These are people. These are 2 basketball NBA players, same position, right? And you're going to not be loyal. But it's okay because the owners aren't loyal, so it's okay for you to not to be loyal to the soldiers that you go to war with every day. You're going to war with these dudes every other day, and it's okay not to be loyal to them? Shit. If that's y'all idea, bro, if that's what y'all stand on, y'all go ahead and keep that. I'm going to continue to think the way I think if that's the case. Since y'all like to try to convince people they're wrong, I'm going to go ahead and continue to think the way I think. I ain't down with that.
You lost your owner. New people in the building. May not trust him. LeBron saw it, made sure the right people knew, and he ends up playing with them. I don't think it's a conspiracy theory. Too much of this stuff is public and well known.
Conspiracy theory. That's the word I was just using. When did that word get created, Americans? Right after that JFK assassination.
But how does LeBron end up once again? He tried to go Steph 2 years ago. I mean, good God, that was a 2-year rumor. He made sure he'd always hang out with Steph and see Steph and talk about Steph, and Steph was great. That was what he wanted to do, and Steph's like, I'm going to stay up here. Then he moved through the channels and Mark Cuban. Cuban sells. LeBron sees a moment. I'm going to go get him. And it took a year of working the channels behind the scenes, but the idea this was a big surprise, caught everybody off guard. I don't buy it.
I didn't buy it either. I don't buy it not one bit. But since he doesn't buy it, can I ask you guys a question, fanboys? Why is he barely talking about this now? It sounds like Colin already knew all of this, right? Like he had it all laid out. Why is he barely talking about it now that the Lakers are winning? Why wasn't it talked about when the trade actually happened? Within that first week. No, LeBron knew this, that, and the third. I can tell you why. He's planned this for a year. We've seen videos. We've seen videos of people saying the Lakers plan to get Luka is insane. Look at this. Look at this. By the GOAT. This was 6 months ago. The Lakers plan to steal Luka is insane. 6 months ago, y'all. Right? We've seen videos. We know what's going on. Everybody kind of knew behind the scenes. This isn't the first time shit like this happened. Only people that were shocked is NBA players. And everybody came out. This is how I knew something was weird. Everybody from Brian Windhorst to Kendrick Perkins to so on, so forth, Stephen A. Everybody, Shannon Sharp came out and said, there's no way that LeBron James could have known that Anthony Davis was getting traded to the Mavs for Luka Doncic. And the reason why we know that it couldn't have happened is because LeBron was at dinner with his family when it happened. How could he be at dinner and trading Anthony Davis at the same time? It's impossible. That's what these clowns told us as an excuse. And everybody went and bought it. Hooked, line, sinker. And everybody who's a staunch Lakers supporter didn't even care to investigate because they were so excited and had a hard-on for the fact that Luka Doncic is a Laker. Now, if you just watch sports and you don't care about cheating, the ethics of basketball, whether or not a player is actually a positive or a negative on your team, just how they look, then you just gonna look at this shit and it is just whatever for you. It doesn't matter. But when you look into the insides of the NBA, you just realize the monopoly that LeBron has on this entire sport is sick. It's sickening. It's almost evil. He's a dictator. He's not running for someone who, claims he's a freedom fighter and a revolutionary for the people. He runs the NBA like a dictatorship. Everybody agree that LeBron's the GOAT or get the fuck out the league. That's basically his only premise. Comply or die. That's what type of leader LeBron has been for the last 20 years in the league. How do we know this? He's paid off every single mainstream media head. They're all Clutch Sports clients. Nick Wright, Colin Cowherd, Shannon Sharp, Chris Broussard. Most of them have come out and said it through their own freaking mouth and said it. They're on his payroll. They represent LeBron James. He turned the whole entire media into being his puppets, his pawns. LeBron disrespects players every day on the court. He fouls to no end. He pushes off people. He has no bag. If you watch him offensively, he's a fucking joke half the time. What looks good about LeBron is the fact that he can still dunk. That he slashes and dunks. But all his shots, go look at every shot chart every night. Layups, dunks, threes. And most of them misses. As a player, he's horrible to watch. He doesn't compare to the other greats. When you look at the refereeing, the fact that he can yell at refs on end to no end and never be called for a technical foul or a flagrant foul. He's never called for anything. People go, well, LeBron never fouls out either because he doesn't play any defense. You have to play defense in order to foul out. You just have to. He has all of this working for him. He runs it like a dictatorship. This is why people like us who come out and disagree with LeBron, disagree. because we see it. We see the way he runs the league. And we call it out for what it is. A casual fan can never see what we see because we're too in depth. Every day, I used to spend years. Every day, I'm watching First Take. I'm watching The Herd. I'm watching First Things First. Undisputed every now and then. I really didn't like Undisputed that much because I don't know, Skip Bayless's voice is annoying to me. He talks too damn slow. Like he's been doing that shit for years, but his voice to me I was never Skip Bayless interested in shit that he had to say, man, cuz it just came off like I don't know. It just came off like the old man, and it was just so slow. I couldn't get into it. But Colin Cowherd, the Odd Couple, all these shows. Speak for yourself. All these shows. You used to watch them all the time. You get to a point where you realize when you watch so much of it, when you go and check out basketball footage and games, you get to a point where you realize something's not adding up. And everything that people were saying are narratives. Jason Whitlock was just talking a little bit about this the other day, basically explaining that Skip Bayless created the Embrace Debate show type of blueprint that everybody follows today, and there's just no way to be on TV without it somehow. But it's like this Embrace Debate, but he started it by being corrupt and disrespecting LeBron, and it got basically to a point where LeBron James shot back by basically owning the media. Which, by the way, rumors report this is exactly what the government did right after the JFK, assassination. So it's just so interesting that now you just see it working in the NBA. It's the same format. Well, some people disagree with what you say. Okay, well, buy them off. That's what LeBron did. These people don't like you. Okay, buy them off. Shannon Sharp thinks Kobe's better than you, and Shannon Sharp thinks that Jordan's the GOAT. Well, buy them off. You buy them off, all of a sudden now LeBron's the greatest thing he's ever seen. Old GOAT James. It's a dictatorship that LeBron has in the league, and it's sickening. This is why we come out and talk the way we talk. LeBron wants no blame. Remember, guys, he had nothing to do with the hiring JJ Redick. Remember, guys, he wasn't there. He didn't know. The Lakers did that on their own. He also doesn't know why the Lakers signed Bronny James. He couldn't tell you. They just really thought Bronny, when you hear JJ and everybody talk, Bronny's character was so high that he was worth being in the NBA because he's such a great guy to be around. That's what they all told us. Okay. Well, then what about Luka Doncic and someone deceiving Anthony Davis and trading for Luka? He doesn't know anything about that, right? No way, no how. But now that it's all working in his favor, guess what, guys? I want you guys to know I did it the entire time. Me and LeBron James, I did it all. It was all me. I planned it all while no one was looking. So either he's a pathological liar who's using Colin Cowherd to come out and support it, or Colin Cowherd is what? Making all of this up? Even though he has ties with Clutch Sports, even though Colin Cowherd is a Clutch Sports client and is basically really tight with Maverick Carter, Rich Paul, and so on and so forth, Colin Cowherd just came out and said all this on his own. Has nothing to do with LeBron wanting him to do it. That's what you guys are willing to believe? Okay.
I don't buy it. LeBron is his intuitiveness. You call it selfish. I call it right. I've never seen a guy that, stuff just implodes. And LeBron's like, oh, what happened back there? Woo-hoo. Boy, did I get lucky.
There it goes. For all of you guys who say this is what the rich do to you, this is what the wealthy does, well, this is what LeBron does to his own comrades, his own soldiers, the people who want to work with him. They implode, he gets out unscathed every single time. they all lose their careers. Russell Westbrook was 1 inch away from being out of the NBA because he trusted LeBron James. He thought LeBron James was going to actually change his game and they were all going to figure it out because that's the lie that LeBron told him. Right? Am I right? Am I right? And then what happened? He was 1 inch away from being out of the NBA. They had nothing but collages and highlights, lowlights, I should say, of Russell Westbrook missing and having bad nights every night. And I promise you guys, I'd put my hand on the Bible. You could do the same thing for LeBron James and his lowlights on a game-to-game basis. If they wanted to, the media, every time you saw Russell Westbrook breaking off the side of the backboard, shooting a shot he had no business shooting, you could have did the same shit for LeBron in his highlights. They're almost the same person, except LeBron is just a 6'8" version of a locomotive weirdo. Tasmanian devil like Russell Westbrook. They're almost the same player, guys. You can find the same lowlights. Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp was doing this on a game basis to where Russell Westbrook was like, I need to come out and, have people put respect on my name. I'm not Westbrook. I'm Westbrook. You could do the same thing for LeBron's videos. They will never do that, but you have to ask yourself why. Why is it okay for us to shit on Jason Tatum, to shit on Russell Westbrook, to shit on Steph Curry, to take big giant poops on Nikola Jokic, what he's doing, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and the Cleveland Cavaliers having almost 70 win seasons? Nobody's talking about this shit, bro. They're about to have a 70 win season and nobody's talking about it. Nobody. They're not talking about it. So you got to ask yourself, why are we still talking about LeBron and a favorable light, even when he's a negative player? And people will come out, right? The Lakers will have losing streaks and they'll defend LeBron. And then they'll go back to winning. And then people will come out and be like, whoo, the Lakers defense is number 1 right now. Oh, it's so great because LeBron's defense was so horrible. I was wondering if he'll ever get it together. So you mean to tell me when his defense was horrible, you decided not to talk about it? You decided not to bring it up. But now that they're winning, it's okay to bring up in passing how bad he was as a defensive player. When they're winning, when he decides to amp it up a tad bit on defense, when Jared Vanderbilt comes back and plays defense for LeBron. But when they were losing and he was a negative 15 to negative 30 every single game, we'll just keep that to ourselves. But you won't do it for any other player in the league. There's not another player that you will defend outside of LeBron James and Bronny James. Crazy. That is a dictatorship. That's not him being the best player in the league. That's him being the dictator. The maniacal dictator of the league. Everybody else, every other player can be thrown into a lake of fire and burned alive while they scream in agonizing pain. LeBron will turn his back and put some headphones on so he can't hear the screaming, the cries for help. That is your guys' king/queen.
Wink, wink. I avoided another disaster. Nah, it ain't luck, man. I think he had this.
And you know what? With that being said, this is going to be such a long video. I'm going to have to pick this up a part 2, man. Y'all like, comment, subscribe.